Hi. So, welcome. My name is Colleen Gallagher, and I'm so happy and beyond excited about making this video that you've made it here and that we found each other. And I'm so grateful for that through the social media world, through the digital realm. And I'm happy that you've taken the time to take a leap of faith and listen to your heart, listen to your dreams. You felt that pull when you saw me or you met me, and you believed in yourself, and you're giving yourself a gift right now. And I really want to take time before I jump into anything to acknowledge that this right now, this moment, this video will have the ability to change your life. And I'm not just saying that as like, oh, whatnot. Like, I'm saying that as a girl who has overcome cancer, as a girl who has quit 2 corporate jobs. I've been to all these 30 countries. I've opened 2 businesses. I've done all these crazy things. And this video alone, what I give you, is 10 years of my life that I've learned from 14 years old to now 24 years old. And when I made this video, I wanted to come on. I'm actually in LA right now, and I'm traveling the world this year. It's in 2018 when I made this video, and I really am just so filled with so much energy that I felt so called to make this video. And this is going to be a super raw video. It's going to be super vulnerable. I'm going to be sharing everything that I know with you, and I'm going to be sharing a lot of things about my life with you, of how I've been able to manifest my dreams so quickly and massively. And, you know, that the fact that you're here is enough. The fact that you reached out to me and said, hey, Colin, I really want this link. Hey, Colin, I really want to know how you're doing everything. Or, hey, Colin, I really have a dream. I really want a dream. Or I have this vision, and I know I can step up and do more in my life. And the fact that you listen to yourself inside of you, that subconscious part of you, whatever part of you really said that, acknowledge that. Because that's so much that people never acknowledge. And I really just wanted to come on and say that before even getting into anything in this video. Just acknowledge. And I'm on such a high, inspired vibe right now, and I'll go into that. But that is why I made this video, is because I truly was so inspired by something that just happened to me today. And I think it's the 2nd of May in 2018. And so I felt so called to do this video, and I just really want to get amped up on this video for you as you're like watching this. It's like, this is going to change your life. The content that I'm giving you here is absolutely going to be able to impact you to get clarity on that vision that you have, that vision that you know. And when I talk about vision, it's not a goal of like I go to work and blah, blah. I'm saying that vision that you have, that you know is bigger than you. It's something connected to something else in the world, whether it's underprivileged youth, helping people that are rape victims, helping people that are divorced, helping children, helping end war. Whatever it is, you have this bigger vision in you, like with anything. It could be whatever it is that you are so passionate about, like you're so drawn to it. And that is vision. That is what I'm talking about with taking massive impact. That is why you're here on this video. And that is why you felt called to come to this video and watch this video and reach out to me and wonder how you can be part of this movement, how you can be part of this energy that I have, how you can start to manifest everything that I have manifested, and also everything that I've manifested for other people. And that's why I wanted to jump on this, because I've been so blown away. And I woke up this morning to an Instagram from one of my potential clients, and we were talking on the phone just for 45 minutes. We had a conversation for 45 minutes. And I can't go into a lot of details with everything because it's a little bit of his life, but I want to say, you know, we're sitting there, and he was asking me about things that he wanted to accomplish in his life. And when we started out the call, he was talking primarily about goals. He was talking about primarily, you know, I want to make this X amount of money. I want to do this. Like, that is a goal to get to your vision. Or I want to open X company. Like, your vision is something that's greater than you. And so when him and I were on this conversation, he realized that his vision was to impact underprivileged youth in America and to do motivational speaking for youth in America. And it was so incredible, like the vision he had of how he was going to do this. And so we were talking, and he didn't have at that right moment the funds to invest in one of my programs, but he was going to set up for like a little bit of payment plan, and I joined him for some things. And anyway, what happened is a week later, like what I woke up today in my Instagram, is he quit his job that he had because he realized it wasn't impacting his vision. It didn't align with where he wanted to go with his vision. And I woke up to that on Instagram today, and I was so blown away that I empowered, I inspired, I impacted someone in a 45-minute call to be able to then live their vision of empowering underprivileged youth. Like, that impact, that mentality is blowing me away, that people are stepping up and stepping into this version of them, of helping real issues in the world. Like, no longer just like not like, oh, I don't know what's going on, I'm not sure. Like, no, they're stepping up and stepping into who they want to be. And if you're here, if you're on this video, like if you reached out to me, you have a vision as well. Like, you have something deep inside that you would risk it all for. You would do everything and go all in for that vision if you could, if you had clarity, if you knew a process, if whatever it was that you think is stopping you, you would do it. You have that vision. You wouldn't be here on this training if you didn't have that vision, that you knew you were here to help something greater than yourself. And so I just wanted to start out this video by acknowledging you, that you listen to that, and you listen to that vision that's trying to come out from you into the world. And so before anything, I wanted to acknowledge that and share that story with you, because that has honestly blown me away. And so as we get started, and I'll take a deep breath, that was a lot of energy, but I wanted to share that with you guys because it was such a massively impactful thing that he did in a week to switch his life around. So, welcome. And I'm so happy that you're here. And so, we'll start from the very beginning. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me, and whatnot. So, I'm just going to back up, and my name is Colleen Gallagher. And I'm 24 years old. I'm originally from Michigan in the United States. It's the one that looks like a mitten. And from right outside Detroit, so Motor City. And yeah, it was a really good life growing up for the most part. And then one day, I was 14 years old, and I was playing basketball because I love basketball. I was a big sports girl. And I'm going up for a layup, and all of a sudden when I went up, I collapsed, and I fell down right on the court, and I couldn't breathe. It felt like there was like something suffocating me, and I was going, like it was really, really crazy. So anyway, I had to go to the hospital. At the hospital, I had this huge lump on my thyroid, or on my neck. It looked like I had an Adam's apple. It's massive. And initially the doctor was like, yeah, you're going to need surgery. And so we go, and I get surgery, and from that surgery they said you have cancer. And those words at 14 years old, like a lot of times you're not always exactly sure what those words mean, or what the stigma is with cancer. You just know it's not good. And I was told that I would be put on medication for the rest of my life at 14 years old, that having kids was going to be a bit harder, whatever that meant to a 14-year-old. And then I had that surgery, and I woke up, and it was like super in pain in the hospital and everything, but I kind of just pretended like nothing happened. Like I pretended I was really normal, and like nothing was going on. And I went back to the doctor, and there was a lymph node that was wrapped in my jugular, and that was cancerous, so they had to take it out. So I had an 8-hour surgery that was really high risk. And I had a massive scar. This is when I was 14, and when I was 14 and I had this scar, a lot of people made fun of me. A lot of younger boys and a lot of younger girls would say really, really mean things. And, did some guy choke you out when you were having sex? Did someone try to kill you? Did you try to kill yourself? You're ugly. Like all these things that people would say to me when I was 14 years old, right? And it was awful. It was such like a moment of experience. I can remember each one of those when those words hit me, like how it impacted me to be so insecure. It impacted me to feel not worthy. It impacted me to want to hide who I was. It impacted me to not believe that I could be seen for who I was, because I was so afraid that if I was, people would reject me. People would make fun of me. And that started at age 14. And that's already, as a lot of you know, a very not a fun time for a lot of kids our age because of the bullying. But it was really not fun. And on top of like trying to understand and deal with being diagnosed with cancer at a young age and what that means, and seeing other people get diagnosed. And there was a moment when I was at the hospital, and there was another little girl and I playing with those play cubes that you play like in the doctor's office. And we were playing with them, and her dad was outside the room, and her dad screamed at her mom and said, the only reason we're not in the position to pay for our daughter's treatment is because you are a stay-at-home mom. And in that moment, an ice cold chill took over my whole body. And In that moment, two things imprinted on me. That in order to have love work, you needed money. And in order to not die, you needed money and healthcare. So at age 14, 15, when that happened, whether I knew it or not, I was always chasing the path of money. I thought that money was everything. Like, as long as you had money, that love would work. As long as you had money, you would, like, your dreams would come true. Like, everything would be fine as long as you kept following money and growing down that path to follow it. So I went to Michigan State University, and it was awesome. And I was a business. I wanted to be in business because that's how you make money, and corporations give you health care because I had pre-existing conditions. So, all these things that were really imprinted in me from a very young age and stopped my ability to dream. And when I went to Michigan State because of this and all of the things that guy said to me, a lot of times I thought that I wasn't worthy of love. I thought that I didn't deserve to be loved. I didn't deserve to be respected, like all these things. And so I dated not very nice guys. And one guy said to me, that I was like crazy, like my first love, like crazy in love with, madly, like we all know how this goes. And, it goes on, and he ended up breaking up with me. And what he said to me is he said, Colleen, I've never liked you. I've used you mentally, physically, and emotionally because it felt good to be there for a girl who had cancer. In that moment, I was in my house and bawling, isolated room, hyperventilating. It was my first heartbreak. And in that moment, it proved to be true that since I was in college, not making money, I couldn't have love. So I put myself in that position to show that belief system to be true. Well, then, what happened after that is I graduated, got this amazing job. I was going to be moving and traveling and everything. And what happened is I fell madly, madly in love. I thought this guy was like the one. I was like going to marry him. Like, it was everything. It was like amazing, like all these things. And what do you know? We're in New Orleans for New Year's Eve. And what happened is his friend came up and was like sexually grabbing my hair and said to me, like, do you like that? I could fuck you better, blah, blah, blah. And I told my partner this, and he looked at me and said, what do you want me to do about it? You're making drama out of nothing, and it's your problem. So, every part of me wanted to be done with it. Like, I wanted to be completely done with the relationship. I wanted to do it. Just forget everything. But I stayed. And I stayed because I was making money. And money meant that it should work. So I stayed in the relationship. And I got a new promotion, so I was moving to another state. And when I did that, I ended up being in a very emotionally abusive relationship. And it wasn't good. It wasn't fun. And a lot of you out there, like, who have this, it's a very surreal part of your life because you're sitting there thinking that it's all going to get better for whatever reason, that it will be fine, and like you'll wake up and it'll be how it was and everything. But my biggest thing was money. And since I was making more money, that it'll work. And finally, one day, my company screwed me on a commission check. And I was working for a $23 billion company at the time as a sales engineer. And I came home in my house in Baltimore, Maryland, crashed on my couch. It was a blue couch. And I was looking out the windows as it was snowing, sobbing, sitting there like just in a complete daze. Like, how is this my life right now? How am I here again? Like, with not living my dream, not having love. Like, what is going on? So as I'm sitting there sobbing, it clicked to me that I always had a dream to live international. But I thought that the only way to live international was through a corporation, safely, so you could have healthcare and money. So I ran upstairs and remembered my dream to live internationally. And I ran up my stairs. I grabbed my Apple computer and I type in Google, international visas, English speaking. Australia and New Zealand come up. $20 for a 1-year visa. So I start Googling some more and looking, and I decided within that moment I had the possibility to live my dreams on my own. I didn't need to fit into a traditional path. I didn't need to know, like, this is how one thing needs to be done. I didn't need to follow money. I didn't need to have healthcare. And this was my only moment. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but this was the only moment from that 15-year-old girl that broke my thing of thinking that money meant you would have love, and money was the only way to make sure you wouldn't die. And in that moment when that happened, I ran. I saved my money for 3 months, quit my job, threw away 38 trash bags of clothes, or gave it away to the Red Cross, and off I went to New Zealand. And I got there with my 4 suitcases, had an Airbnb for a month, scheduled an interview to go back to corporate because I wasn't ready. I still needed to find my purpose. It was really to go there just to fulfill my dream to live internationally. That was my dream. And I'm sitting in this HR company, looking over the Auckland Bridge, looking over the water, talking about what I want, and it's like this big vision, and it's like I couldn't really fit it into like one corporation or one company, but I knew like I had to find a way to make money, so I was like, I need to go back to money, because if I don't have money, like I'm not going to have anything, and all these things, and like really the mentality of that, and it was really crazy. And so I ended up getting this amazing job, and this job I got was covering all over Australia and New Zealand, like my favorite thing, traveling. And so I'm traveling all over Australia and New Zealand, like every week I was traveling and having sales and everything, but something was wrong, like something wasn't really still there. Like I still didn't really feel like I was here in this place, like living my dreams. And like after I quit my job, I was in Miami, and then Miami to New Zealand, and then I was in Australia, and a girl I met in Miami, she was from Australia, and 6 weeks after me moving to New Zealand, I'm sitting with this girl in Australia I met 6 weeks earlier, overlooking the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And I sat there in my mind going, wow, I just manifested my dreams within 8 weeks. And I still feel like I have this bigger sense of purpose. Like I feel like there's something bigger that I still have. Like there's a greater vision inside of me that I just feel stuck. Like I cannot keep waking up and keep doing this. I cannot keep waking up and not figuring out how to impact people. I cannot keep waking up and not figure out how to make this a better world so everyone feels they have an equal opportunity to live their truth. Like I can't keep doing it. And so I invested in a business coach. And with that business coach, I came up with this like love out loud movement. Like, oh, I'll make more love in the world and it'll be great and whatever. So I did that. And I went to an entrepreneur retreat in Fiji. It looked like everything was going to plan out. Like it was so amazing. Like everything was going out. And I went to this entrepreneur retreat in Fiji with all of these like major entrepreneurs from New Zealand that were like, oh, it was just magical. And like over the ocean and this like beautiful beach and bath and whatnot, and it was great. And I come back after that and put out my Love Out Loud movement. Let's go. Let's change the world with love. And nothing came back. Nothing. So here I was, now feeling completely rejected. And again, after my relationship, after my job rejected me with a commission check, and moving across the world when all my friends thought I was crazy, rejected. And then I was like, oh, I want to make more love so I don't feel rejected and everything. And so here I was on my entrepreneur retreat with my love movement and put it all out there for the world, for like dreamers to like get this vision, and rejected. Great. Like the worst thing ever. And when that happened, I was sitting there like, okay, I'm not giving up. Like I need to do something. Like something needs, like I kept asking the world, like not asking. I woke up every day demanding the world. I would wake up every morning and I was like, I demand you give me clarity to change the world. I demand you give me clarity to change the world. I demand you give me clarity to change the world every single day. And when this happened, I was on Instagram, and there happened to be a few people that liked me, and one woman, Gabby Muniz. Someone liked me, and on there it says digital strategists. And I go, oh, this sounds great. Let's make a strategy call with her. So I make a strategy call with her. And in the strategy call, I learned that she's from Brazil. She has a background in finance. And here I am like, oh, let's change the world with love. Let's do this. Like, oh God, it was awful, right? I was like, what am I going to do? Like when she said that. So the call goes on. And as this call goes on, she goes, you know what, Colleen, I can see this. I totally do this, and I can empower you to do this. And it was magical. Like it was just the next level of what she gave me. And so within 8 weeks of the 8-week program with her, I quit my job within 4 weeks of working with her. I had a book launch. I started my business and quit my job and completely started my laptop lifestyle to travel around the world and work on my next book. And that was January of 2018. And right now we're on May 2nd. And that was January 15th that I started. And every single month I've had has been positive. Every single client I've impacted has been phenomenal with their vision. Like, it's been like people that just went through a divorce, helping people with other divorce, like a single mom. Like, we had someone opening a jewelry store. We've had now have someone like underprivileged youth, like someone who's trying to look for like opioids in the U.S. and helping with that, and all these phenomenal people that I have come across and been attracted to and really went to the next level with and empower these people to have massive results with their vision. And it's been insane. And it's really been a modern day fairy tale with looking at people create a lifestyle, not just like I want love or blah, blah, like a complete lifestyle of intoxicating the world with love. And that is a modern day fairy tale. Is someone going all in with their dream, with their vision, like all the way in, like no looking back. Like, this is the time. The time is now. Like, there is nothing I can do to wait anymore, because I will not tolerate my vision not moving forward. And so that is like what has inspired me to do this call. Like, that is what has inspired me so heavily to come on here and share this with you. Like, that to me is what is moving the world forward. And that to me, if you're listening to this story, if you're listening to this, that is why you're here. And if you want to know like the way that I do this, the secret that I have to do this, like how it is that I manifest this in my life, this in other people's lives, like it's phenomenal. But I just want to take a minute before I even jump into the process, the 3-step process that I have to do this. I just want to take a minute to acknowledge this energy that I have, because this energy that I'm having right now in this video, it is like, I just came outside actually to do this video and like in the middle of some other things I was working at, because the amount of impact that people are having in this world by just getting clarity on their vision, not even having maybe the right tools to do it yet, is phenomenal. And that's why like I wanted to do this so deeply, and I wanted to call to you. Like, this specifically was a video for a calling for you to come here, because I know deep down you have this crazy vision. You have this massive impact idea. Like, you have this thing in your mind that you're like, you know what? The world needs this. The world needs this in order for the collective being of the world to do better. It's not just because it's going to do it better for you as an individual. It's because you know that this is something that will impact the world, your community, wherever it is, to be a better place. And so just acknowledge that you're here. Like, just acknowledge that you took action. Just acknowledge that you're on this video today, that you're in the game, that you've stepped up and stepped into listening to your vision, to listening to your heart. Because so many people never even listen. So just acknowledge that. And the fact that you're here is not a coincidence. Like, you've been chosen. Like, I don't send this video to everyone. This is like a specific you've been chosen video. It's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to look at where you want to be, what it is you want to do, and to get there. And so, another quick story before I tell you the process, really, really quick, with how to do this. I want to tell another quick story. And this story is, it just happened to me. And so I went to this retreat with a few people that were multimillionaires, and a few people that are just starting out, like just getting clarity. And it was pretty phenomenal. And when I was there, I sat next to a woman, and she was like, "Oh, you're going to this yoga retreat this weekend?" I was like, "No, I'm flying. I have a different flight. I'm leaving California to go to Michigan." And she was like, "No." And so we're out on this dinner on Saturday at this 3-day event, and I wake up Sunday and I go, "Hey, is there a spot left in this yoga retreat? I'm going." So I was looking at some things and what to do, and I already like had an Airbnb and like a flight and all these things, but I like canceled them and anyways, and stuff with money. I was like, oh, I'm a little bit stressed with money. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. And so what this woman did is she let me stay at her house, and for the 3 days before we went to that, but till we went to this soul retreat. And It's interesting, right? Because I started this journey in January 2018, and my next book is Manifest Love. And I've been impacting so many people with vision, so many people with this. And to understand that this is like the vision that I put out into the world, and then like I attracted something like that back, is anything more than that's more than I could ever ask for. And like the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because even though maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're at the same level as where I'm at, maybe you're like right behind where I'm at, maybe you're above where I'm at, but you just need like a community of people who had that same vision. Like maybe that's it. And who knows, like wherever you're at, I just want to share that part of my life with you, because that was something that was my vision. That was my dream, to be able to live a life like this and be able to have where I could live location free, where I could live with my own schedule, where I could live meeting the most amazing people in the world and create like these just phenomenal friendships and relationships. And so I wanted to share that with you because my process is how, right? How do we do this? And if you would have told me January 15th, I would be here in May, staying at a woman's house I just met the weekend before to go to retreat the weekend after, I would tell you you're crazy. I would say, how's that going to happen? How are you going to do that? But the thing is, I never got caught up in the how. I always focused on following my heart and following what was true to me. And so that's why I wanted to come on and share this video with you so deeply of how I do everything and how I've manifested this and how my clients manifest everything. And so there's 3 steps to this. And the first part of this is finding your truth. It's I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but the first part is that simple. Finding your truth. And what that means is when I really dive into this, when I really look into this, what that means is the first part is you have to find the key to your heart. You have to really take a good look at your life. You have to really look at like the hardest moments. Like look at where you were really struggling. You have to look at the happiest moments in your life. You have to look at your vision. You have to look at who you're hanging around. And you have to look at all these moments of where the key to your heart was alive and where the key to your heart may have been lost. Like where have you been neglecting? Where have you not been looking? Like where are you disconnected from your purpose? Where is your truth? Like what does make you happy? So with finding your truth, the first part, you have to find the key to your heart, because your heart is what lets you follow your dreams. When you follow your heart, you follow your dreams. So before you do anything, oh, there was a bird that just flew. I don't know if you saw it that way. Oh, beautiful. And the first thing you have to do is find that key. And what we do, or what I do always, is you look deep into yourself. You look at the internal and you look at the external world. You look internally at what are things that you can do and look at within your life of what gave you happiness, like what gave you excitement, like what gave you things that like you, like time just flew so quickly, you don't even know how it went that quickly. And then what were the hardest moments? Like what were the times that were really hard? What were the times where you almost broke? And the reason you have to acknowledge those times is because those are really powerful. Those are real, those are vulnerable, and that's what people relate to. Like I just shared with you through my story. And that, with the key to your heart, when you look at that, when you find the key to your heart, when you have that power to be like, yes, I'm going to look internal, I'm going to look externally, I'm going to let the world empower me to find the key of what will always bring me happiness. Like if I know my purpose, like when you know it, like every decision you make, like should I hang out with that person? Should I eat this for dinner? Should I move? Should I do that? Every time you do that, like every single time, like that is purpose. And that purpose will bring you happiness. Like, yes, that will bring me to purpose. No, that won't bring me to purpose. Like if I hang out with that person, nope, I'm out. That's not with my purpose. If I go and do this job, that's not with my purpose. So it's not going to work. And I'm just going to take a sip of water really quick, guys. But that is like what the key to your heart is. And that's within finding your truth. And the second part to finding your truth, the second part to this is you really, really want to look at how to become the modern day Walt Disney. And I create it this way is because now that you know your purpose, like you know what you're meant here to do, like you know at every step of the journey, like even if you're a mom, even if you're a wife, even if you're a husband, if you're a brother, if you're a sister, if you're a like whatever you are, now that you know, like, hey, yeah, if I'm a mom and I have to go to soccer or do this for my purpose or do this for my work, like I'm going to know which one to choose and what will be the impact of making me happy or not happy. Now you know that. You know the clarity on that purpose within this. And And that's what's amazing, that this is delivered within the first thing of working with me. Like, I deliver that, and that, it's phenomenal when my clients get this and what they step up to in their vision. And so then they have that. They become the modern day Walt Disney. They have that clarity, and they make imagination and reality become one. Because now they see, like, now you will see, you'll have the opportunity to see that your, like, purpose, your vision, it's not maybe in the reality world. You can dream and then reverse engineer it back into creating it from reality to real life. You can pull it into reality of where you are today. Like, it's not so far away where you can't touch it. And that's what you do within this finding your truth. Like, you get the clarity on your vision, your purpose, and then, like, within 3 to 5 words, like, it's very clear. Like, it's a very cookie cutter clear. Like, sometimes it's a word. Like, the longest one I've ever seen someone that's like the truth of their vision is 5 words. Like, it's simple, it's quick, it's clear. The second part, like the reality part, is like, once you know this and you know your big picture, like the guy started out talking about earlier in this video, like, he knew that he wants to help underage youth, but he realized that that reality of staying in that job wasn't going to pull in helping underage youth. Wasn't going to do that. So within a week of talking to me, not even in the program, just a week, one call of talking to me, he did this. And these are like things I was giving away for free in these calls. And so he did that, and he pulled that into his reality to quit his job, to go closer to his purpose, to become the modern day Walt Disney. And it's just crazy. So that is like so phenomenal. And that's the first part of my process, is finding your truth. And those are like the details of how I do it. The second part of this is speaking your truth. And I know, again, it's like, oh, Colleen, speaking your truth. Like, what does that mean? So there's a really, really amazing part. So this is like making the magic happen. And this is like the coolest part, because when you make magic happen, you sit there and you now see how to find your tribe of people that care about your same vision, that are in alignment with what you care about. Like, people that like get you, people that understand, like, whatever this is really important to me. Like, if it's a clothing, like, I really like to keep people warm, or I really like to make shoes for developing nations. Those people, you will find your people that have that similar vision, that similar idea as you, because you make magic happen, and you're going to see where your people hang out. You're going to start to see what they're doing in the world. You're going to see all these people that are already modern day Walt Disneys, that are in the world, that are pulling the same vision you have into reality, and you make magic, because then you become part of that tribe with them. You start to see that you're not alone. You start to see that you have people that are already creating momentum and energy about what you care about. And that is this first part. That is the second part of the speaking, first part of this speaking your truth, but second part speaking your truth. And that is this, and it's like exciting, and it's like, God, like, you see these people, and it's like, they're in my vision, they're in my realm, they're getting it. And then the last part is of this speaking your truth is you become the one. You become that girl or that guy. Like, you become that guy that, like, or that girl, like, that walks into a room and people are like, whoa, who is that? Like, what are they doing? I got to know about their life. Like, you are so intriguing. Like, just by this part, like, speaking your truth, you become people are fascinated by you. You become fascinated by the world because you are aligned with your vision, with your purpose. You're getting it. You're starting to see why the world needs you. And here you get really crystal clear when you become the one, when you are that girl, that guy, that person. You're just that person that you walk into a room and you know exactly what love means to you, what love means to other people, and what love means to the world. And you do that in return, like, in terms of your vision. Like, you know what, with my vision, this is what love means. In terms of, like, the other people, this is what love means. For the world, with my vision, this is how my vision is going to impact the world with love. This is how it's going to move the world forward. And you are so clear. And that's what's so beautiful. And so I just wanted to share that, because that is the second part of this, of my process. And this last part, you guys, this last part of my process, the last part of my process is where you live your truth. Live your truth. You live it. Like, you found the clarity. You've now found the empire. You've now found the tribe. Like, you've done it. You found it. And now you're going to live it. And so here there's two parts as well. First part is intoxicator. And some of you may or may not know this, depending on how deep you are in some of the content. An intoxicator is someone that takes the time to look within, removes the toxic, and become what is left. Their truth in the world. So on this living your truth, you're now an intoxicator. You're now going around the world, intoxicating the world with your vision, intoxicating the world with love, intoxicating the world with your truth. Like, you're living it. Like, you're already that person. You step into a room, people know you have something to say. They know you have a vision. They know you're an innovator. They know you're a dreamer. They know that your time is now. Like, you know your time is now. You are taking massive action. You are living that life that you've always wanted to live. And not even just living that life that you want to live. Like, think of that life, like, before this. Imagine that life and you're like, Colleen, this is the life I want to live. This is what I want to live. Like, you now are living that life. You're already on to your next dream. You're already on to your next vision. You're already pulling yourself forward even to something bigger than the vision you're thinking of right now and watching this video. And that's what I'm talking about with living your truth. That is what you're doing. You're doing that. You're starting to look at your life and be like, this is how I do it. This is how I'm going to do it. I am doing it. There is no more planning. There is no, I don't know, oh my gosh, or I may not invest in this, blah, blah, blah. No, like, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. Like, no objections. And this is my vision. And if I'm not doing this, I will not be happy. I will not be manifesting love in my life. I will not be allowing abundance to come through me. That is what you're getting when you're living your truth and you become an intoxicator. And this very, very last part in my process under Live Your Truth is the happy ending. And with this happy ending, I give you so many tools. It's actually crazy how many tools I give in this. And in this, you have everything that you've learned. Every single step of it, like, I give it to you. Every single step of how I've manifested for my life, how I've manifested for my other clients, how you've manifested it. And what you do is you now have everything you need for a complete lifestyle vision. To completely be living the vision of your life. Like, what you've wanted, like happiness, abundance, love, freedom, joy, always dreaming to, like, your next big thing. Like, that is what you have. And I give you all these tools for that. And once you're at that part, you're at the happy ending. Like, you're at the part when you're like, hello, I'm here. Like, it's like the rainbows and unicorns and whatever it is. Like, that, you just repeat the process. Find, speak, live your truth. Find, speak, live your truth. Find, speak, live your truth. Like, every area you go in your life, that is my process. That is how I do it. That's how I've gotten amazing results. That's how I've got amazing results for clients. That's how you're going to have amazing results. This is a process that works. It's not something that's just, like, made up or whatnot, or like, oh my gosh, I don't know. No, like, it works. Like, it's 100% what has gotten me everything I've gotten in my life. Very, very quickly, accelerated, and massively. And if you're here, like, if you're listening to this, like, you're ready. Like, you're ready. You know there's a pull in you right now. Like, there's something in you that's like, yes, like, that is a vision. Like, I want that happy ending. I need that clarity. This is what I'm doing because I will not tolerate anything less than not doing that. I will not handle not having my vision change the world because I will not tolerate this traditional path, the status quo, to sit there and dictate to me how I'm going to be. And so, if you're here and you're listening to this, I already know that we have a connection. Like, I already know I love you. Like, I already know that your vision is something that is so impactful because deep down, what we all know is we're all one. We're all one being. We're one race. We're one nation. We're one, like, unity. We're all one. Like, there's going to be a day when we have no borders. We have no gender. We have no race. We will look at each other and say we're one. We'll ask about vision. We'll talk about dreams. We're not going to say, like, how are you doing? We'll say, like, how is your dream going? How is your vision going? How is your impact going? Can I help with your impact? Can I contribute to your impact? That is where the world is going. And if you are here, you know that you're being called. Like, this is what it's for. And so if you're listening to this and you listen to my story and you're listening to these results and you're listening to my process and you're wondering, like, Colleen, I'm ready. I'm ready to step up. Like, I'm ready to step into this. And you're ready. Like, you're sitting there like, Colleen, how do I do this? How can I get into this? Like, how can I bring my vision, my dreams to get into my life to not feel stuck? To not feel like I'm sitting here and, like, I'm lost or, like, I don't know what to do next. I don't know if I can follow through. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just not sure. And you're wondering how you can overcome that. Like, you're like, Colleen, I just want something. I just told you the process. Find, speak, live. But you want something deeper deeper than that. You want something to go really, really deep. And you know that you want a tribe. You want a digital home. You want a nation of people that are coming around you, that are all with vision, that are all impacting the world because we're one. We all deserve equality. We all deserve an opportunity to have truth. We all deserve an opportunity to live our truth. We all deserve the opportunity to, if we so choose, live our dream. And that's why you're here. And you want those people around you that are choosing to live their dreams. And so what I want you to do is, if you're here and if you're listening to this and you're like, yes, this is me. This is what I'm ready for. I want you to do two things. I want you to message me on Facebook, or you can do it on Instagram, whichever way that you found me through. And I want you to tell me two things. And the first thing I want you to tell me, and I want you to be really clear with this. The first thing I want you to tell me, even let's say you don't have a vision yet, like you're not really sure what it is you want. You don't have total clarity, but you know there's something bigger. So I want you to tell me an idea of your dream. Just explain to me like a quick idea of your dream. And I want you to tell me that. And I want you to say, Colleen, this is an idea of my dream. This is where I think I really care about the world. This is where something that really excites me about the world. And I want you to tell me that. I just want you to say, Colleen, this is what excites me about the world. Or this is my vision. Or this is what I care about. And I want you to say that and tell that for me. And the second part of this is I want you to say, why you think out of everyone who reaches out to me, everyone who's part of this, why you think you should be in this community that I have with digitals and people with vision, people that know that love is the way. Why you think that you should, why you think your contribution would be so massive to this. Put what your idea or vision is and why you think your contribution would be so massive to this. And I want you to put that in the message. So the first part is, what is your vision? What is your dream? Like, what makes you passionate? That's the first part. The second part that I really, really want you to dig deep on and just say, Colleen, from my vision or dream or what I'm passionate about, this is what I would bring to this community. This is what I would bring. This is the contribution I would bring. And then once you message me that, I'll reach back out to you and I'll let you know, because this is something that I protect very heavily. It's a digital home. It's a place for visionaries. It's a place for innovators. It's a place for people who know their vision is bigger than themselves. And I take care of that energy, because that's a very, very special energy of oneness, of wholeness, of knowing love is the way. And it's a very unique energy. And so I really have to feel when you're reaching out to me that this is your energy. This is your digital home. And so once I do that and you reach out to me and let me know, I will let you know about the process. And I have a few different ones, but really the real thing that I want for the Find, Live, and Speak Your Truth. The one that I'm inviting to you, it's a 3-month program. And once you're in this for life. And you're in it forever. Like, there is no leaving. You always have access to this people. You always have access through me. You always have access to all these things and all this content that I'm giving. And in this 3-month program, what really happens is when you get access to me, you get access to all these other people who have vision, who have these things. You're in a Facebook group that has this. And not just a Facebook group like saying like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's people who are talking about massive vision all around the world. It's people who are all over the world who are committed to this vision of oneness, to this vision of like, you know what, I'm here for something greater than me. And so once you do that, I will show you the different ones that I have. But first, let me know, what your vision is, what your passion is. And second, let me know what your contribution would be, or what you think your contribution would be to this group. And it can be something small, just, I think I'll commit to, or I would bring the vision or my contribution to supporting other people. I would bring my contribution to bringing my ideas of sustainability with the environment into this. I would bring my passion for blah, like just what your small contribution would be, of what that really means, and really think like, honor yourself of your contribution, because what you do, what you say matters. And those are the two things. And I really am so proud of you that you're on this. You're stepping up. You're taking massive action to even listen to this and knowing deep down that vision is greater. And so by you just doing this, by you just sitting here and listening to this. I'm so excited to hear your message. I'm so excited to get it. And I'm so excited to see the inspired massive action you're going to take, like the guy I told you about in the beginning of the story. Because those stories that people take massive action like that's what's changing the world. That is what's transforming the world with love. That is what's transforming the world to become one with unity. And so I'm so excited to have you on this. I'm so excited for you to be here and honestly acknowledging yourself, and I acknowledge the light that's in you. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, those two things. I look forward to hearing you. And again, let's intoxicate the world with love. All the love until then.